Hi everybody, my name is Spammals and welcome to what will be the final episode of Thalassa, Edge of the Abyss. We are abseiling down what remains of the funnel and we are headed into the boiler room. Why did the ship sink? What happened to the crew? These are the questions that we are still asking. Without any more stalling, let's begin. Oh, we're inside the boiler casing, descending down to the boiler room. When you see a funnel on a steamship, it doesn't just start and stop on the top. That funnel goes right down into the boilers. Although this funnel really has collapsed and really fallen apart here. Why is this collapsed? Yeah, like that, you see? Got the boiler, and you got that kind of thing clasping onto the front of it on top. And that brings it up. Okay, so we're on the plate.
Look at the boiler over there.
Look at the boiler over there. What? I see a crack back there. Burn marks. Oh. A coal fire? Signs of a fire. Oh no. Coal fires were super common on the, turn of the century steamships. They're so, well, coal is very flammable, but there's so much dust, coal dust. A single spark or whatever can really just start a fire very quickly. A toolbox, a boot. That is the water gauge. A new water gauge. A boot. Kamar's shoe. A rope. Eric was down here. And paperwork. And is that Eric's kind of like marriage band, or is that just a colorful braid? Something else.
Finally. Let's see what he found out.
Sir, from a rigorous experimentation of the salvaged Acumen crane engine mechanism and flywheel supplied us, it is our conclusion that there was a catastrophic defect that had gone undetected in the casting process of the main gear brake. This hairline fault would likely be undetectable both during the manufacture and the light use of the crane. The strain of the continued use, however, would result in catastrophic failure. This is just a sheer accident with no one to blame. Shit.
What is this? This can't be right.
The part manufacturers were at fault then. A stress in the metal.
That can't be it. A part fault.
Yeah, that sucks, right? Imagine learning you died because of just a part in the machine failing and no one's to blame. No consequence, no vindication. Seeing these kind of like personal possessions from the crew, a bit chilling. We can answer a couple more of these things. So who was to blame for the accidents? What happened? Investigation document shows and proves it. It was a faulty part. It was a faulty part that broke the crane the day of Alex's accident. A problem in the manufacturing that nobody could have known or foreseen.
What killed her happened in a factory on the other side of the globe. It's nobody's fault.
I refuse to believe this. We will figure this all out. The accident, the sinking.
I feel sorry for her. I do. Right, so a tree in the garden, a colourful woven band tied around the tree in the garden. What's this all about? Colourful band. Who owned this? Eric did. The meaning of the bands. The braiding photograph and the novel solution. Eric and Isabel had undergone a hand fasting ritual, compromised for them to express their love.
Are you sure? It's not too late to run.
Maria!
I couldn't be more sure.
What a beautiful place to do it as well.
All my life, I have wanted to be an adventurer. But I was made to believe that I didn't have it in me, and that such a life would be lonely and frivolous. Then you came. Someone who had read my words and seen me. You gave me a chance, challenged my preconceptions. I had many of those.
I thought that I never wanted to bind myself to a man again. Building my legacy and my name has been too important to have it torn down. Then you came, with your ambitions and love for adventure and dreadful stubbornness. I want to share my journey, our journey, with you.
I don't care what form our bond takes, or who will know, as long as I have your love, as you have mine.
I can't marry you in a traditional sense, but I give you my heart and soul.
Yeah. I'm happy for them. It may be a fake couple in a video game, but it's a lovely love story.
Strange to think that we're the only ones that know.
At least they found some joy in the end.
They got married. I'm fucking dead. And then you got this. An unusual invite. 2 cups of coffee in Hans's room. It was very unusual for him. There's the apology. So we have enough evidence now to finish this. Okay, the recent findings are faulty parts and going behind his back. There we go. Hans had invited Thomas to his cabin to make amends and inform about the faulty parts. Okay, we're getting a whole lot of closure here. A whole lot of closure. Well, Alex is fuming. Her death was seemingly so meaningless. But we're getting closure. There's a fire hose. We know that they manually lowered the water pressure of the boiler, that they can stop choking the engine. There's no charring on the ceiling. It's not like there was an explosion in here. We do have a major hull breach. Oh. The boiler did explode.
It's burst from the side. That'd have been what Thomas and Kamar worked on.
But they fixed it. Got out of the storm.
Well, it seems to have not been such a fantastic idea after all.
Let's look for more information before jumping to conclusions.
The boiler has exploded, and that explosion has cracked the hull open. This is the mortal wound that caused this ship to sink. Because of the size of the ship as well, you can't just close watertight doors, as it were. This is the boiler room. There are no watertight doors. This goes straight into engineering and all the other decks. If you can't contain it here, then the ship is lost. The boiler room's going to flood, and then lift up to the higher deck, and then start to flood into the living accommodation. With the boilers dead, the engines are dead. There's no power, there's no lights. They can still manually wind out the lifeboats. That's wild to me. And yeah, the map is updated with that crack as well. We do have some of those big, heavy doors that you turn the wheel to seal. We'd have to retrace some steps and see when they kind of kick in. So I would say he was stood here using the fire hose. Bang! The boiler bursts, and maybe a bit of shrapnel, boom, boom, you know, bounces, and he gets hit by something. I mean, there's some debris on the ground right there. So maybe some shrapnel hit him, and there's a handprint on the ground. He's fallen down. He's like, put his hand down as he's fallen. He limped out. His glasses did go onto the hand railing as he continued to work his way out. All right, let's stop wasting time. Let's stop differing and dallying. Let's get on with this. There's the wax recorder and a bunch of tapes. Missing equipment. And the door. There's an axe in that door. And that's blocked. And that door's missing. Is that the door? No, that door came off that hinge. This wall is heavily charred. Maria stole those pieces. Did she hide them down here? Did she try to burn the evidence? And so made a little pile of coal, put it in the coal, set fire to it, and then big fire kicks off here.
I suppose that was the killing blow.
That was enough to sink the whole ship.
The sea pressure's high. Doesn't take much.
Gas in the hull. Fire extinguishers. Unused fire extinguishers. We can solve these 2 mysteries. The fire door should never be locked. Who was responsible and why had they locked it? Seen evidence. Jane's missing equipment had been locked away inside the boiler room. Intent behind the actions. Maria, she disliked Jesse and wanted to protect her mum. The culprit, oh, silly girl Maria. Maria had stashed Jesse's equipment and locked the fire door.
Try to ruin people's lives now, you hackett.
There you go.
Stupid girl. She had no idea what she was doing.
They managed to get through and get the fire equipment.
So Maria sank the ship, basically. Huge gash in the hull that would have been damaged enough to sink the Thalassa. What happens? Incident catalyst. The coal burned away. Unused fire extinguishers. A burst boiler. And further damage. Oh, no. Signs of a fire. And then further damage, a burst boiler. A burst boiler and signs of a fire. The boiler exploded. There was a fire and a large gash in the hull. The fire hose. Fire hose was uncoiled and used in the fire. Boom, putting it all together. Eric and Kamar went straight for the fire hose to fight the coal fire that was raging. What happened to them?
Fire extinguishers weren't used. They went straight for the hose. Flames must have been fierce. Spread quickly.
When a coal deposit catches fire, and the intensity would have been enough to warp metal.
That's what Kamar and Eric were doing. Trying to fight it.
Eric and Kamar went straight for the fire hose to fight the coal fire. So I'm guessing the small fire extinguishers, they were just too small. We went straight for the big guns. This fire was raging and fast. An unseen obstacle. A ruined door slowed them down. Signs of their fate. Well, there's a boot and their glasses. Shit. They were temporarily slowed down by the locked fire door. Eric and Kamar fought the fire till the end. The boiler exploded. There was a fire and a large gash in the hull. It was damaging enough to sink the Thalassa. Thomas had gotten injured in the explosion. Jesse had helped get him out. Eric and Kamar went straight for the fire hose to fight the coal fire. Breaking down the locked door, they fought the fire till the end.
Damn it!
Yep, that's hot.
It's going to blow. Get clear!
Are you injured?
We'll be fine. We need to get control over the fire.
It's locked.
Yeah, kick the door down.
What's happened?
Jesse, I need you to take Thomas up with you.
Given how time sensitive this is, it feels really slow.
I'm in position.
Oh no.
Get to safety. Bolt as many of the metal doors on the way as you can. We have to stop the flooding.
So they tried to save the Thalassa, but to no avail. That's it then. We have everything we need.
Yeah. There's no blips on blips. All problems have been resolved. But one. What sank the Thalassa? A major event.
Has to be something more. We must have missed something.
It's clear what happened.
No.
Alex is she in denial, or is she really hinting that we have missed something? So as engine work and a storm front came in.
That's not right.
Stop that. Let's just get it over with.
Oh.
No, there's more there has to be. I know it. This was intentional.
The unnamed mechanical issue eventually stalled the engines as they attempted to go full speed. They were dead in the water as a looming storm front approached. The mission had hit a major delay, and Thomas complained about the odd engine sounds, requesting time for him and Kamar to look into it. You don't know anything. We don't want to do this. Stop. Go back. We'll find more clues. Kamar was adjusting the water levels, but it's too late.
It was a tragedy. They did everything they could.
My vision's going funky.
Well, they failed. None of them cared enough. If they did, none of this would have happened.
Don't do this.
They're all at fault. All of them.
Drowning. Solve all mysteries.
There's a strange sense of calm when you hit the bottom, isn't there? Here, let me help you.
I'm confused and concerned.
Your answers. even if you may not like them. Let's see what sense we can make of it.
I swear to God, game, if you screw me out of an ending because I was too slow or whatever, I swear to bejesus, I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna refloat that ship and sink it again!
It all started out so well, didn't it? Home, friends, and purpose. Even though you were a bit on the outside, you were happy.
Memorial for Alex, yeah?
It caused waves and ripples. They had a mission and a deadline, so they headed back out. It was too soon.
Okay, they had a mission and a deadline, and they went right back out again.
They were running out of funds.
There's definitely more going on than meets the eye. She's acting odd. I think she's keeping something from me.
Isabel was protecting the crew and carrying the burden on her own. Suspicions and distrust took root.
You're supposed to be conducting an investigation and said you're sleeping with the suspects!
You're out of line, Captain. Whatever I or Isabel choose to do is our own affair.
Hans didn't deserve to be deceived like that. The stress of that situation deepened existing problems.
You're the one pushing everyone towards another accident.
It's bullcrap like what you've been pulling that puts the crew at risk.
Was Eric wrong for wanting to keep the crew safe? Actions were second-guessed, and secrets were
I
kept.
see. But if that's what's worrying him, he should tell the captain, no? But that's a lot of faith to put in one so inexperienced.
You shouldn't have given such responsibility to a child.
Is it unreasonable of Hans to distrust the capabilities of a person that young? Distractions kept everyone looking elsewhere.
I know I'm very quiet. I'm just like taking this all in.
Captain, I found the waif that's been eating all my stores. I want her off the ship.
This is just a story to you, isn't it? Do you even care?
Well, yeah, there was a lot of stories and distractions going on board.
Further, even though he saw what was wrong, Cutler was being respectful.
I'll get my other schematics.
Would have been an easy fix for Thomas if he hadn't been blinded by the problems caused by his mentor.
It will be temporary.
Could this have been avoided? Maybe, if they'd been more open. But that's not what happened. If they'd stayed, they wouldn't be dead.
I think if people were more open with each
Chose to go
other.
back out.
Yeah, I've seen this style of shock before.
If I hadn't gone ahead, we'd been together, and you wouldn't be alone now. Maybe none of this would have happened. And the Thalassa would still be here. It's okay to be angry with a person who has passed away, you know? It doesn't make you bad. Let's get you out of here.
If people didn't keep secrets and were more open, then there wouldn't have been all the distrust with like Thomas and stuff like that, and maybe the engine maybe wouldn't have gotten so messed up. So maybe this would have been entirely preventable. Stepping outside the ship again.
Come. Can you hear me?
We're back in contact with Bill Bailey.
Radio broke on us. Well, there's a storm on its way. We have to leave now. I'll load the platform. I'll drop the flares so you can see it.
Oh, we gotta go. There's a storm coming. We've got real Bill Bailey back now.
Can you see it?
You hear me? I'm here.
Hurry!
I heard a second voice. I heard a second voice.
Help me. Hurry, there's no time.
What's happening down there? Keep moving to the platform.
Oh, I've got to decide what to do here.
Don't leave me again.
Come!
You're not real, bitch!
Please, help me.
Bong! I'm gonna break away. If I don't go now, I'm gonna die. And you are dead. You're just in my head.
I can't keep us steady! We're gonna lose the platform!
I'm coming, old man!
Don't leave me.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Back.
got you. Hang on.
She's not real. She died weeks ago. Save yourself in the end. Save myself? Like, she's not real. She's not real. Alex died. That's the ending. Well, we discovered what happened to the Thalassa and how it sank. We discovered the storylines of all of the crew on board. The entire game, like Cam, kind of a lot of survivor's guilt for the passing of Alex. The moments of her death haunted us throughout the entire game. And at the end there, I think it's symbolic. Even though the Steam achievement was like saving yourself, but it was a symbolic moment. It was about letting go of the past, letting go of the demons, or cutting loose the demons that are holding you down, about letting go. The alternative is to try to free her and you just stay right there with her, like you don't get out. It's kind of like depression in a way, in the sense of you can find yourself in the bottom of this well of negativity, self-blame, self-doubt, self-hate, and the only way you get yourself out of it is to cut those demons off in a way and climb out and get above it. This was a wonderful game. I really enjoyed this. The story was really immersive and interesting and interactive. The ship itself was a joy to walk around, both pristine and in wrecked states. The ending was sad. I ended up getting more emotional than I expected to. There's something very surreal about this game. Something so surreal about the dialogue and the interactions. It almost feels like interchangeable with maybe some incidences in our own lives, replacing Alex's name with someone else's name, or this incident with that incident. It definitely gives food for thought. But I knew as we were coming up there, I heard her voice. I knew she was going to be there again. I knew she was going to be asking for help. I knew in my heart I was not going to stop. I was not going to stop. I was ready to choose life. I was ready to leave my ghosts behind me. Because we know, with a sound mind, Alex is dead. She died weeks ago. So we know that wasn't real. And to acknowledge it being real could only have resulted in our own death. I am interested to see what the alternative ending is. Some unanswered questions about this, though, is we saw an apparition on the bow when we first arrived holding a lantern, and we saw an apparition with a light when we made it to the greenhouse. We never really found out what that was really about. Be it us hallucinating someone, something. Was it designed just to be a curveball, to put doubt onto our own existence, whether we lived or died? Were we the ghost overall, after all? And that would have been a pretty cool twist, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm gonna leave that there. Thank you so much for watching. Please do drop your comments down below. I want to hear your opinions about this game and the story, and what would you have done at the end? Please tell me. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.